Hey there, it's Jennifer. Just wanted to really quickly come on. I keep getting little pings about this, so I decided to just go ahead and come on and make a recording so that we can address it. I know we all kind of jokingly laugh about, oh my God, it's Mercury retrograde, and we kind of, I always kind of am joking about it. Now, that being said, if you followed me or if you know anything about what I've talked about before, I always say, if the moon can move the tide, like if it can really affect the entire ocean, of course it's going to affect us on some level. Okay, so that being said, I do absolutely believe that we are meant to work together in this cosmos with all of the other planets and all of the other energies, all of the other stars, and that the moon really does have an effect. The way the planets are aligned does have an effect. All of that, of course, does affect our body. And it kind of almost goes back to when I was a kid, I can remember like the older people would say, "Oh, there's a storm coming because I can feel it in my knee," or whatever, and it'd be like they would talk about the barometric pressure and how that would feel. And I think we're all getting a little bit more in tune with that. But the one thing that I want to bring up about this subject is to make sure that when you're talking about the retrogrades and the way the planets are and the way that they affect us, that you're not doing that from a place of victimhood. Um, so that you're still taking control and being in charge of your own life and your own, like, manifesting what comes into your life. Now, that being said, it's almost like, a like a weather pattern, or it's like, if you get a weather warning, right? If you get a weather warning and you know that it's supposed to rain, chances are you'll throw like a raincoat in your car or an umbrella or something because you'll be prepared for it, right? So that's how I like to look at the planets, the same way. So we are all going to go through this life. And so one more analogy I want to just put out there, just to, like, I really like to go hiking. My family, we've always gone hiking. When you go into the forest, when you go into the mountains, when you're going to explore an area, you should be aware that there are probably wild animals out there. You're not going to go into the forest unprepared. If you know that there are mountain lions in the forest, you probably will take a whistle. If you know that there, you know what I mean? Like little things like that, that you're not going to go into the forest without enough water, right? So when we go through these things with the planets, um, I feel like if we could just maybe take some of the victim of, oh, I'm a victim of the way the world works kind of thing. If we can just look at it as we're getting a little bit of a weather forecast of what's going to be coming up. So when we know that certain planets are going into retrograde. So for example, Mercury retrograde is about communication. So we know that when Mercury's in retrograde, we really want to think about rewording, reworking, reviewing, right? Like we want to really look at things like that. It doesn't mean don't sign a contract ever during Mercury retrograde. It just means if you're going to have to sign a contract in Mercury retrograde, you really want to go over the fine details. You really want to look. You really want to make sure that it's communicated well. So it's not, don't put your life on hold just because there's a retrograde, but also be aware of what might be affecting it, right? Like during Mercury retrograde, you always want to make sure that you have like a battery backup, or that you have a plug for your phone just in case the battery goes down, like little things like that. So that being said, there's like 6 planets in retrograde right now. So it is really intense energy. Um, a lot of what we're going through right now is so intense and it's so big. And we're really moving into a new way of being. And I know I've been saying that for months, but it's really like, I really do feel like it's finally building. And so I just wanted to come on really quickly and just tell you that all of this is for divine purpose. So keep your eye on the prize, so to speak. Like, look at a longer vision. Try to see things from a broader scale and understand that everything's happening in divine timing. And then also, like, be that light. Be that person that says, oh yeah, the planets are in retrograde, but it's great because this shows me what I need to look at, right? So when we can switch it to that optimistic instead of having that apprehension or that fear, it's those kind of things that are going to help us move into the new energy, right? So how can you look at the opportunity that's hidden in the retrogrades instead of being a victim of the retrogrades? So that's it for today. I just really quickly, like I said, wanted to come on and talk about that, to not be a victim of the retrogrades, but to really embrace and look for the opportunity and where the growth can be, and just kind of maybe switch your thinking on that. So I hope this resonates. Pass it on if you know somebody that it could help. You can find me on Facebook, and my community is called the Embodied Grace Community. And I will talk to everybody soon. Bye.